I'm just going to go into a little bit more detail on some of the issues that the Mayor brought up. But for us, a really hard budget, an interesting budget, because we had obviously our business as usual, keeping the city running, keeping the community facilities operating. We had, there's quite a major cost for keeping the temporary services we're providing. Is this echoing?
It is echoing, you can hear.
Yeah, okay. The temporary services that we're providing into the east, into Brooklands. And as the Mayor talked about, it's providing for the extra growth, the new growth areas in the city. And that was about 34 million, I think, was the extra growth to speed up the growth, the infrastructure for the southwest, and to put new infrastructure in for Preston's, Highfield and Belfast. So we did all of that. That's the first package of work, and the rate increase required for that was 3.74%, as against a predicted in the LTP, as the Mayor said, of 4.19. So I think we've done a pretty good job in reviewing the budgets and keeping the expenditure down. The next part, which doesn't have any impact on the budget, but it is the infrastructure rebuild. The total cost of that, the Mayor talked about a $2.2 billion contract. The actual total cost is around about $3.4 billion. Council's share of that, we're estimating at $982 million, really trying to keep it under $1 billion, but I kind of round it up and say it's $1 billion. And we're looking to fund that over 20 years. Our share of the cost, the $1 billion cost over 20 years without any increase in rates. It's funded. Paul Anderson will give you more details how it's funded. But we're looking to pay off our share without increasing the rates, just by using existing renewals budgets and existing rates that are already being levied. And the reason we're doing that is because we don't, from my point of view anyway, I don't want to burden the city with debt, and therefore there's no capacity for aspirational projects into the future. So we're trying to pay that off within our own means. We talked about the next bit is the major facilities, and really would like your feedback on these facilities. Just in my quick discussions before I came up here, it's interesting, the debate. Just I think in a husband and wife it was. One thought the town hall should be rebuilt, saved, and the other thought it should be a new facility somewhere else. And that's what feedback's all about. There's no right answer in what we do. So we'd really like your opinions on what we're proposing for the major facilities. Our share, the cost over and above insurance, if you adopted council proposal, is about $330 million. We had some money in the budget for upgrade of those facilities, and we also had some money in the budget for what we call betterment. So the shortfall is around $193 million, which we're saying with the one-off 2% rate increase, it can be funded over 30 years. So we're saying a one-off 2% will provide all of those facilities as we've proposed. So we're quite happy with that. And probably because they're going to be more interested in hearing from you, Mike, on the facilities. I'll just probably just touch on insurance. There's been a fair bit, and once again, Paul Anderson will talk a little bit more about this. But it's been a bit of discussion. Well, why is council having to put in extra money? Why isn't council getting a fully insured? When it comes to the horizontal infrastructure, we have to insure 40% of that. The government pays 60%. We only insured up to $109 million per event. That was the maximum insurance we could get. And there's a shortfall of just under $200 million that we're up for. But we did that with our eyes open. That was the maximum insurance we could get. And we could get no more. That's the maximum any council could get from the insurance that's provided in New Zealand. And when it comes to facilities, the extra cost is getting the facilities up to 100% of code, of the new code. On the building code on the 22nd of February, there was a building code on the 22nd of February. Now there's a new building code for the city, any building that was built on the 22nd of February that was 100% of the building code is now only 72% of the new code. So what Council's resolve is to get all our new major facilities up to 100% of the new code. That does cost money because there's more facilities, there's more strengthening, but we're doing that because they're major public facilities and we want them to be safe and everybody to feel secure when they're in them. So there is a cost around that. So I'll probably, Paul's about somewhere, he's going to give you a little bit more detail, but would really like your feedback. These major 10 facilities, they're going to be here for a long time. We've got one chance to get it right, haven't we? One chance to make a decision and set this city up, this great city up for the future. So I really like your feedback, and I just commend the Council for having the courage to make these decisions, which is what I suppose we're paid to do, isn't it? Thanks, Mike, and hopefully that's really given you a bit of an overview of our thinking and the options. As you can see, we could have gone for a lot more expensive options than we have, but we were trying to be responsible and stay within that 2% rating ceiling. And for those of you that want to think about sites for the convention centre and the Metro Sports and the new rugby ground, correct me if I got these wrong, Mike. Convention Centre, we're looking at a site of 1.4 hectares, Metro Sports 3 hectares, and the former AMI somewhere between 6 to 7 hectares. So there aren't that many sites in the central city that big. A lot of people talk about co-location. If we co-located all of those, we're up to 12 hectares. That's just not going to be available. So I just say that for you to just to reflect on. Apologies from the Mayor, he's had to go to another community event. I think, Amanda, because of the numbers, we can just all hang around and answer questions if you want to come up to people with name tags on rather than keep this going. Is that okay? So look, I'd just like to thank you for your attendance and for your interest. It is a really important time for the city. We're laying down some fairly solid building blocks for the future. Really exciting time to be part of the city. And let's get some feedback, and councillors have got a hard time in June when they've got to make some big decisions, but we'll make them. And so look, thanks very much, and we'll hang around and answer questions. How's that? Thank you.